This video is related to the interface that in this video we will discuss about what is interface, what is the use of the interface and how we can create any interface. Just wait. Let it charge. Just wait. Yeah. Basically in Java we only talk about two things as like I am we will talk about the variables and methods. We will talk about the behavior of variables and method in the interface. Then what is interface? As like we can say that interface is you have already learned about the class. Class is known as the noun. It We can say that a class can describe anything. It is just a name as a blueprint copy. As like interface is the behavior of anything. The whatever we are writing, it reflect the behavior. As like I am writing any runnable is an interface, and it's runnable. In the runnable interface there is only one method. This is known as public void run. This is a interface, public void run, runnable interface. Runnable interface is showing the behavior, that what behavior it is taking. You can say this is adjective able. So interface is describing about the adjective, the purpose and the motive of what we can say that. Let's say I am creating an interface. Interface is created with the help of interface keyword, interface. Let's say a. Interface name should be in first word in the capital letter. I have created a interface. This is my interface, and this interface is known as the marker interface. This is marker interface. What is marker interface? And a interface which has a blank our interface which don't have any variables or method is known as the marker interface. It is a blank interface. You can see that there is nothing in this interface. This interface is known as the marker interface in Java. And you can also ask about some examples of marker interface. Examples of marker interface is clonable, serializable, random access interface. These all are the marker interface. It means you I have already told you the a marker interface is having the blank things. It doesn't contain anything. It means how the interface, how the serializable or clonable interface has to be declared. Just wait, I have not taken. Yeah, how the variables has been taken. Java peoples have written interface serializable, curly braces start, curly braces close. There is nothing in this interface. This is marker interface. This is the implementation of serializable interface which is given by the Java peoples. Got it? Then you may ask that what is the need of this blank interface? There is no any methods or variables in this interface. So what is the purpose of this type of marker interface? This type of interface is only meant to describe to our JVM that this class can be serializable. As like you can see public class enter testing. This is my class. Okay, implements serializable, serializable. Got it? There is no any compilation error. Why there is no any compilation error? Because I have already told you serializable interface is a marker interface. It doesn't contain any methods or variables. If there is no any abstract method, so we don't need to override it. If there will be any abstract method, then we have to override in our class, but there is no any method in the serializable, so we don't need to override anything. There will be no any compilation error. Now my class interfacing, this is my class interfacing. This interface we can perform serialization on this class. I have written implement serializable. This is for our JVM, that JVM can understand that my class can be serialized. Or I have written clonable. Just take clonable, CLON Clonable. I have written the clonable. This is also a marker interface. It also doesn't contain any method. So if I am writing this clonable interface, it means that my class, this is my class, public class interface, can make a clone, a duplicate copy of an object. This only, this I am writing this implement clonable. This is only for the JVM, that JVM can understand that we want to make the clone of an object in our class. Without implementing the clonable interface, you can't make a clone of the object. Got it? For making a clone or a duplicate or a Xerox copy of an object, as like there is an object, that object contain employee ID, name, salary. If you want to copy that object details in another object, then we need to create a copy of that. For creating a copy, we are using clonable interface. So clonable interface, as it is a marker interface, it doesn't have method any. So it only indicate our JVM that my class interfacing has the property that he can create a clone of any object. Got it? This is marker interface. Now what about the interface? I have taken a interface A. Let's remove this all things, because I am writing something in this, so we don't need to make it as a marker interface. Now let's say in the interface I am talking till Java 1.7 version, till Java 1.7 version. I am talking till Java 1. Before Java 1. Before Java 1.8 version. Before Java 1.8. Before Java 1.8 version V. Okay. I am talking before Java 1.8 version. Before Java 1.8 version, it was strictly allow only. At first, let me to talk about variables. In the interface, all variables are by default public, static, and final. Whether we will write anything or not, it doesn't matter. As like I am taking int a is equal to 10. You can see this is a type of instance variable. We are calling this type of variable as an instance variable in our class. In our class it is as like an instance variable, but in the interface there is no any such type of instance variable. Instance variable doesn't exist in the interface. Whether we are writing this variable public or not, it is by default public. Whether we have written static keyword or not, this variable is by default static. Whether I have created this variable as final or not, this variable is by default final. Got it? All the variables are by default public, static, and final. This is compulsory in the interface. And after Java 1.8, it is still the same. Before or after, there is no changes in the variable. Variables are always, till now, I am talking till Java JDK 21. The Java 21 version is going on right now. Till today, there is no any changes in variable. All the variables are by default public, all the variables are by default static, and all the variables are by default final. So we can see that all the then it is a similar to abstract class, but there is a lot of difference between abstract class and final. In the abstract class, it is said that we can write both abstract and concrete method. In the abstract class, we can write the abstract method as well as concrete method. Okay, let's take one more class. I am taking a class, just wait, I am taking a class. Let's take abstract class A. I have taken the interface as A. Just wait. I have taken an abstract class. I am writing here public void m1 abstract. Sorry, I have forget abstract. Okay, this is public void m1, and I am creating one more object, one more variable, one more method, public void m2. This is my second method. public void m2. This method is known as the abstract method because this method has only declaration. We are declaring only m1 method, but what is written inside this m1 method we are not providing here. The class which extends, as it is a class, you can see abstract class b, this is also a type of class, this is not an interface. So we have to extend the class. For inheritance we have to extend the class. So if I am extending the b class, then it will give compilation error because it is an abstract method. So we can write the abstract method, but here the m1 is the abstract method, so we have to declare the abstract method in the child class. The class which implement the abstract class must have to implement is abstract method. So here is m1 method. There is a compilation warning. I am listening, I am saying we have two solutions. Either we can make this class, this is the child class and b is the parent. We have to make this interfacing class as abstract, we can make this. Otherwise we have to implement the m1 method, add an implemented method. You can see this is overridden here, m1 compulsory. The child has to declare the m1 method, as m1 method is an abstract method. So abstract method should have to be defined in the child class. We are defining here in the child class, so it's not a compilation error. And this method is known as the concrete method because this method has declaration with definition. This is concrete method, concrete method. This is concrete method, but in the interface we can write only abstract method. We can write in this interface we can write only abstract method. Let's say public void m1. Okay, there is no any compilation error. Public void m1, there is no any compilation error. I am writing any concrete method, it will give the compilation error because concrete method we can't create in the interface. You can see this is the compilation error. This is the compilation error. We can't create the concrete method in the interface. Only we can create the abstract method in the interface. It is compulsory that we have to write the abstract method of the interface. And let's remove this abstract class because I don't need this. Oh, okay, I will need after some time. Got it? We can write only abstract method in the class. And the as like I have already told you, interface variables are by default public, static and final. And interface method are by default public plus abstract. Whether we are writing the method as public or not doesn't matter. Whether we have written the abstract keyword doesn't matter, but compulsory this will be followed for the method of interface. I have writing here public explicitly, we don't need to write, no any problem, but this method is by default public and this method is by default abstract. Our compiler know that in the interface only we can write the abstract method, so we don't need to write the abstract keyword. But if you are interested in writing the abstract keyword, you can write, there is no any problem. But compiler implicitly know that while in the interface only we can write the abstract method, so it is not required to write here abstract, but by default it is as like a abstract method. Got it? So this is the behavior of variables and method in the interface. Now how it is vary from the abstract class? In the abstract class we can't create any object. As like I am creating any object, just take b is equal to new b, compilation error. It will give the compilation error because in the abstract class we can't create a object, but we can create a constructor of this abstract method. Just wait. This is the constructor. I am writing public, so you will get the feeling of constructor. This is the constructor of b class. You can see this is the constructor of b class. Constructor, we can write the constructor in abstract class, but we can't create the object of abstract class. Just remember that these things. Now there is an interview question that we can create the constructor but we can't create the object, and constructor is called when the object is created. Constructor is automatically called, you already familiar with this. Constructor is automatically called when the object is created, but here in the abstract class we can't create the object. Then how this constructor will be called? Okay, so let's take, I am writing here system.out.println I am abstract. I am writing here I am abstract. Now how the constructor will be execute? I need to execute this constructor without creating the object of b class. Without creating the object of b class, we have to call this constructor. How we can call? Because as I have already told you, abstract class, in the abstract class we can't create the object. So how the constructor will be called and why this is given in this abstract class? So let's take here I am extending. I am extending here. Let's check. There is a B. I don't need this right now. I don't need this. I am explaining just about the constructor, so we don't need any abstract method here. Got it? So let's take an instance variable here. I am taking an instance variable. This is not a, just remember one thing, this is the instance variable. In the abstract class, I'm saying abstract class support instance variable, but interface by default method are static, by default variables are static. Interface variables are by default static, but in the abstract class there is instance variable. This is the instance variable, remember, instance variable. This is instance variable, and you know that instance variable instance variable is called instance variable is called when the object will be created. So we need to create the object of this abstract class b so that we can get this instance variable. But you know that in the abstract class we can't create the object. Then how this int a is equal to 10 will be called? Let's take, I am writing here plus a so that I can get the a value also. Got it? Now the class which extends this interface, there is a lot of gap, let me remove this. Now you can see this is abstract, so we have to extend this class. Now the interfacing is the child class of b. Now the interfacing will provide its constructor, जो source generate constructor using field. Let's take int b is equal to 20. Here I am taking int b is equal to 20. Okay, I got just take int b. I'm not writing int b is equal to 20. I am writing just int b. Constructor using fields. You can see this is the super. Got it? This is super, and you know the use of super in the super. What the super will call? Super will call its parent class constructor. So the public b will be automatically called from here. This is the reason the super keyword. Super is meant for calling the parent constructor, parent class constructor. Here the parent class is b, extends b. The parent class is b, so the parent constructor will automatically be called. We don't need to create the object of abstract class. We have written the constructor of the child class, and the constructor of child class will call this public b constructor. Now I am taking a main method. Let's take, I am taking a main method. Got it? Now I am writing here sys out what I have to write. No, I have to create an object at first. Just wait, I am creating an object of this class. This is the child class. Interfacing I is equal to new interfacing, and I have to pass a value. I am passing 20 here. Got it? Now I have to call this, so I need to call I dot, and the instance variable name is b, so I am calling int b. Got it? Now the output is, you can see here I am abstract, and then where it is coming from, this is written in the constructor of abstract class. I am just remember these things. What this public b is the constructor of abstract class, and the constructor of abstract class is called by the help of child. Got it? So that's how we are calling the abstract class constructor. And why instance variable is support in the abstract class, as like we have written the constructor, and constructor is really meant for initializing our instance variable. So we can write the instance variable so that we can initialize it. Got it? If we want to initialize it int a, no any problem, we can initialize all our, this is the instance variable, and for initializing the instance variable the constructors are there. Got it? This is only about the abstract class, but this is not applicable for the interface. Got it? Let me to remove this abstract class. I don't need this, and I don't need this also. Okay, let me to clear all these things. Extends b, just remove, there is no any b class. Got it? Now we will talk about the interface. You have already learned that what is the difference between abstract class and an interface. Abstract class can have abstract and concrete method, but interface only have the abstract method. Interface, I am writing interface only only has abstract method. And this is, I have discussed a lot of things about constructor, this that. Why? Because interface, just wait, in interface we can't create any object and having no constructor. Just remember these things, that interface we can't create any object of the interface, and interface don't have any constructor. So what I have already told you about constructor is meant for initializing our instance variable, but here in constructor is not supported by interface. There we can't write the constructor in this interface, as like I am taking the constructor as a, this is my compilation error. You can't create the constructor in the interface, it will give you the compilation error. As I am not creating any object and having no constructor, then what is the need of instance variable? Instance variable is called with the help of object reference, and for initializing our instance variable constructor is there. But if we can't create any object and we can't initialize with the help of constructor, so there is no any use of instance variable. That's why the interface variables are by default public static final. Just remember this thing, this is static. Whether I am writing the variable as static or not, it is by default static. That's why I am reminding you once again. In the interface we can't create any object and having no constructor. If we can't create any object and having no constructor, then what is the use of instance variable here? Instance variable is called with the help of object, and instance variable is initialized with the help of constructor. But there is no any features of object and constructor in the interface. That's why all the variables are by default static. Got it? Now I am writing int a is equal to 10. We can't make it int a. Compilation error. Why? Because it is by default final. The variable of interface is by default final, and the final variable must be initialized before use. You know this. If any variable is final, as like I am, this is the public class interface, this is a class, this is not a method interface. There is no any use of interface here. Just forget the interface. This is the normal class. I am writing here a public final int a. Compilation error. You can see compilation error. What is the compiler? Initialize the final field as declaration. This is the compilation error. We have to initialize it. It is compulsory as it is final, and the final variable must be initialized before use. So we can't make the final variable as empty. That's why I am writing int a is equal to 10. If I remove this, it will give compilation error because final variable must be initialized. Got it? Now this is int a is equal to 10. Now let me implement this interface. Interface is implemented, not extended. Implement a. This is the interface. Now for accessing this, how we can access this int a? It is almost similar to the it is just wait. It is almost similar to the abstract class, as like public static void main. We will create the object of our child class. Interface I is equal to new interface. This is the interface I have created, the object I have created. I have created a child class object. Then with the help of class reference, we don't need to create here, we can create here it all on me. We can create here it's all on me. I have to print this sys out I dot a. This is, there is no any problem, we will get the 10 here. This is for the instance variable, but as I have already told you, the variables are by default static in interface. Then there is no any need to create the object. Without creating the object, let me to remove this. I don't need this set. Okay, as I have already told you, this the instance variable is by default static, and you know how static is called. With the help of reference class, yeah, interface reference, we can call it. I have to print this, sorry. Sys out capital A dot A. No any compilation error, we will get the 10. You can watch the output, this is 10 here. Okay, I am changing the variable name, I am changing it to Z. Okay, then you, with this is the interface A and this is the value A, so you will get a lot of confusions. I have made this variable as Z, and you know how the static are called. Class dot variable, static variable name. Here this is not class, this is interface. The same scenario, we will get the value 10. We don't need to create any object. This is the proof that the variable is by default static. This is the proof, because we know that static are called with the help of class reference. We are taking the help of class reference, as like, just wait, I am writing static int b is equal to 20. Okay, then if we need to call this, then how we can call this? We can call normally, directly we can call, because static is for the class level and within the class it is there, so we can call this, or we can call this with the help of class reference. This is my interfacing class dot b. No any compilation error, it will give the answer b. You can see this is giving the b answer. That's how the statics are called. Got it? So we can see that it is behaving like a static. That's why it is the final proof that all the variables are by default static and final. Got it? Now the second conclusion about the method, that how method is public and abstract. Just let it be public. I am writing here void m1. Why we need to write here complete things? Because we know that whether we will write or not, it is by default public and abstract. Whether we will write this public or abstract, it doesn't matter. If I have written, then compiler will be happy. Or if I have not written, then compiler will add this extra two things, public and abstract, in our method. So we don't need to write this. Compiler will all internally use this public and static keyword. When I am writing this public void m1, and if any class implements this interface, then it will give the compilation error. You can see this is the compilation error. Why it is giving the compilation error? This is the main conclusion, because there is a abstract method here, a class. This is the class interfacing, which implements a is the interface. You can see when a class implements any interface, then compulsory that class has to provide the implementation of the abstract method of the interface. Here void m1 is the abstract method, so compulsory we need to provide the implementation in our child class. Got it? Here I am writing, just writing public void m1. Compilation error gone. There is no any compilation error here. Why? Because I have overridden it. I have already overridden. This is the main. This is the method m1, and the same method I have overridden in the child class. If we don't override, it will give the compilation error. That's why it is compulsory. Any class which implement any interface, if there is any abstract method, then compulsory that class needs to implement that interface, that abstract method. Got it? Here is only one abstract method. You can see there is only one abstract method. That's why we are using this. I am writing any other method, abstract method, public void m2. Again compilation error. Why? It will say that you have to override the m2 method also, because m2 method is also abstract, and you are the child. Class interface implements a. Here interfacing is the child, so child has to implement its method. That's why it is compulsory to override here. Public void m2. If I am overriding it, then there will be no any problem. And we can also use the a notation, at the rate override, at the rate override. I'm writing here. It means that the my m2 method is overridden method. Compulsory the parent must have the m2 method. This is a notation. A notation is only meant to know that this method is which type, it is overridden or not. If here overridden supported, if they are overridden supported, then it is compulsory that the interface must have m2 method. If there is no any compilation error at a notation, it means that the class or interface must have the m2 method. Let's check. There is m2 method. If I am removing this m2 method, then at the rate override a notation, it will give the compilation error. Just wait, I am commenting this. Here the compilation error came. Why? Because m2 method is not there in the parent. Then how you can override this? Got it? M2 method must be in the parent, then we can override it. But if there is no any m2 method in the parent, then how we can override? That's why it is giving the compilation error. So we need to uncomment this, then there will be no any compilation error. Got it? This is the behavior of m2 method. Now let's take a simply task, that why interfaces are used mostly. This is the interface Bing. Got it? I am writing some basic functionality. I will talk this in the later. Thank you.